Have you ever wondered why you resonate with some people and not others? Have you ever wondered why some people or some environments seem to drain your energy? Have you ever considered that your natural base frequency affects all your relationships and your health? Hello, my name is Dr. Brett Wade. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Ekahi Method. Ekahi means one in Hawaiian. The reason I have named this method for improving all aspects of your life, Ekahi, the Ekahi Method, is that there is one thing that connects us all. All living and non-living things are connected by energy, and this energy travels in the form of a wave. So one thing connecting us all, whether they be sound waves, waves traveling on the water, waves traveling in the form of light, visible light, or wavelengths that are invisible to us, wavelengths that are traveling through us, like radio waves or all around us. Everything in life travels as a wave. I started to develop the Ekahi Method approximately 15 years ago. I was practicing as a physiotherapist in Hawaii, and I began to wonder why some of my patients seemed to really resonate with me, and yet others did not seem to be on the same wavelength as me. I also began to notice, after many years of treating patients, that the people who stayed with me as a physiotherapist seemed in some intangible way to be similar to me. Of course, I also started to notice this with relationships with friends or people. I noticed even in social situations that I just seemed to resonate or be on, again, the same wavelength as some people. And I began to wonder if there was something more to these connections that I had with people. And I also began to wonder whether these invisible waves had in some way an effect on our health. As a therapist, I was particularly fascinated by diseases such as multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, diseases that seem to lack a clear, identifiable etiology or cause. I was also curious about whether these, again, waves that seem to be emitted by people also had some effect on health. I wondered with some of these diseases, like I mentioned fibromyalgia or multiple sclerosis, whether their cause in some way was related to their own waves, their own energy, being unnatural to them or being out of balance. To start to test this hypothesis, I needed to develop a way of quantifying people's energy. I needed a way of doing it that would be relatively easy and didn't require a lot of expensive equipment for people so they could do this at home. So I developed the frequency profile. The frequency profile, which you'll see on the website, takes two objective measurements of heart rate as well as respiratory rate or breathing rate. Combining these measurements with 7 other questions helps to determine a person's base frequency, or the rate at which they produce their own energy. The frequency profile categorizes people into 5 base frequency categories: red, yellow, green, blue, and violet. Once I started to collect the results on the frequency profile, I started to test what happens when people of similar base frequencies get together in social situations. As I predicted, when people of the same base frequencies get together, let's say, for example, 2 people who are yellow base frequencies, when they get together, they describe resonance, or they describe their energies coming up, or just being more energized when they're around people of the same base frequency. As I also expected, when people of opposite ends of the base frequency spectrum, reds and violets, get together, they describe feeling drained or not resonating or not being on the same wavelength. I knew at this point that I had the makings of a book. In addition, I knew I had the foundation for a powerful way and a new way of treating my patients. I started to look at my patients, their state of disease or their state of health, as being related to their base frequency possibly being unnatural to them. Say, for example, they naturally were a red base frequency. Perhaps too much of their life was spent living as a green or living as a red or living as a violet. I also started to take a look at people's environments and what effect their environments had, not just the people in them, but things like electrosmog, or whether being surrounded by a certain type of lighting or color had an effect, because again, they're all waves. So through this, I realized that we needed to come up with some way of helping people reset to base frequency. And one of the best ways, of course, of resetting to base frequency is meditation. Meditation, as a lot of people will talk about, is sometimes challenging to find the time or to really get into a deep sense of resetting to base frequency, or a deep meditation. So we developed products such as candles, body sprays, as well as a roll-on, which are specifically formulated. The scents in these candles, body spray, and roll-ons are specifically formulated to help people, again, deepen their meditation and help them reset to base frequency. There are 5 parts to the Ekahi method. The first part, obviously, is discover. You need to discover what your base frequency is. Using the frequency profile on the website, you discover whether you're red, green, blue, yellow, or violet. Number 2 is sense the external frequencies. You must learn how to sense the base frequencies in other people, and learn how to sense the waves in the environments around you. Number 3, as mentioned, is resetting to base frequency. Every day, all of us need to spend some time in meditation, reconnecting with our own base frequency. Number 4 is frequency tuning for success. Because in our lives we're surrounded by people who may not be, and probably are not, our same base frequency, we need to learn how to adjust temporarily our own base frequency so that we may temporarily improve a relationship. And number 5 is to nourish with base frequencies. Surround yourself with music, color, food, exercise that resonates with you. These are really important 5 parts to the Ekahi method, and I've been using them regularly with my patients, talking about them during public speaking and in my seminars, and I know they work extremely well. I know if you follow the Ekahi method and the 5 parts, if you read the book, perhaps attend one of my seminars, I know you'll not only be healthier physically, mentally, socially, but your relationships will improve. I encourage you to start by doing the frequency profile. Find out, what is your color? And in addition, once you know that, perhaps consider purchasing a candle or a body spray or a roll-on to help you deepen your meditation. Sign up, receive my weekly blogs and my newsletter, and I hope I can see you out there one day, perhaps at one of my seminars, and I look forward to chatting with you about your experience in riding the waves, and hopefully we can learn to master the waves together. All for now.
To book Dr. Brett Wade for a speaking engagement, or to attend one of his seminars, or to make an appointment at the Ekahi Method Health Center, visit www.ekahimethod.com.